Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Monday, October the 25th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. What not to do, part 1. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Okay, what not to do. Yeah. One of the things, the way the brain works is you have to give the brain positive suggestions rather than negative suggestions. So rather than telling yourself that you're not going to do something, you have to tell yourself what you're going to do instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the things that you shouldn't be doing, but we're going to have to phrase them in a way so you're telling your brain something positive to do. So one of the things, or the first thing is when you're trading, if you don't have a plan, no plan, you're really going to get in trouble. So rather than tell your brain, well, I can't not have a plan, it's like, hey, I have to have a plan. I need to make a plan. Problem is like in prepping, a lot of people don't know what what the plan should look like or could look like or what it should contain. So trading plan. What should a trading plan contain? Well, there's various components. Um, First is maybe you pick the market. So you say, I'm going to trade the Forex market. And then you say, in the Forex market, I'm going to trade the pound dollar. And I'm going to use this method. And I'm only going to allow myself to lose this much per trade. And I will take profit at this level. So I will have an exit plan or an exit playbook. So you start your trading off with a plan. And sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. But if you lose, doesn't mean you abandon the plan. That's for sure. And that's where a lot of traders go wrong. But the main thing is that you really have to have a plan, and it should be written, and you should read it before you trade. You should focus on it, pay attention to it, make sure you stick to it rather than deviate from it. Because if you don't have a plan, you might as well flip a coin, which with the proper money management, you could actually win. Or you could be like the rat and you could only trade one direction. And then you could really rake it in sometimes. I mean, we look at the rat and we say, okay, if you're in this zone and you're a green rat, all you do is go long. You just go long. And so you can see here, you wait for price to get in your area, you go long. You wait for price to get in your area, you go long. You wait for price to get in your area, you go long. I mean, it's really not that difficult. It really is a simple method. It's just whether or not you as the trader can execute it. Can you execute it consistently, time after time? And yeah, it will get boring, but good trading should be boring, as I've mentioned that. Maybe not lately, but good trading really should be boring. So, take a look. Do you have a plan? I mean, be honest. Do you have a plan? Is it written down? Or you could even put it on the screen, like with the TRO My Notes indicator, which I know there's some traders out there actually do it, and they post their charts on forums. So, as we look at these charts, you just have to figure out, what is your plan? Do you have one? And if you don't, maybe you should stop and get one. But I know there's other things that can cause people to get off track, and later in the week we'll talk about those. But the main thing is let's get a plan together. And I believe I've put some videos out there about different trading plans. We did the whole Walmart series for a whole month. We talked about the Walmart. And he even shared his written plan. I think we put it up as a PDF. You can download it. But, it's a simple trading plan. And here we go. We've got, the hour opened here. This was the trigger line. You go long at 60. You'd be up 2+ pips right now. I mean, does it work every time? No, it doesn't. But that's what the plan allows for, because in his money management, he'll only lose so much. But when it does work, it works nicely. Like the last hour, if you had gone short at 70, you could have made 10 or more pips. And you can see here, a few hours ago, there's another 10 pip opportunity. And before that, there was a 10, 20 pip opportunity. One simple trade, one simple method, one simple plan, and you can net lots of pips. But the question is, do you have the plan? Because if you don't, then you've got nothing. Like I said, but coin toss, gut reaction. I mean, there's a lot of traders out there, they can just look at the chart but they, in their mind, they know, okay, here's where I would enter, here's where I would exit. And one thing you can do, see, we're talking about the plan and having to stick to it. Here's a way you can find out if you can stick to a plan. Find somebody else's plan method on the internet. And you don't have to do mine, or you could do one of mine that you don't use. It doesn't matter. But see if for one day, if you could stick to that plan, follow it, every rule, every step, every time. Because what you'll discover is whether or not you've got a flaw in yourself, or if you're not winning, maybe your plan has a flaw. Because if you can't follow somebody else's plan, then how can you follow your own? Because here's the thing, with somebody else's plan, they're telling you, do this, do this, do this when this happens. So the instructions should be pretty clear cut. But with your own plan, maybe you fudged it a bit. Maybe you didn't make the instructions so clear cut. And maybe that's where the weakness is. Because with somebody else's plan, like with the Walmart, I mean, hey, green H1, price at the 60 line, you go long. That's it. Now, either you can follow that or you don't. If you do follow it, and you follow it every time for a day, it's not whether or not you win or lose. It's whether or not you followed the plan. So I'm just using that as an example, but take your plan. Do you actually follow it to the letter for every trade during your session? Or maybe do you skip or miss a trade or two and then kick yourself because that would have been a nice winner? I mean, do you do that? So I'm not trying to beat up on you traders. No. What I'm hoping to do is maybe, there's a couple people that can really benefit from this and take their trading to the next level. Because, sticking to the plan, that's the big one. That's because it encompasses everything. What you trade, when you trade, how you trade, your money management, your risk management. It's the whole Megillah. whether or not you stick to that plan. Because one of the things that I was talking to Walmart about today is, this really is a timing game. And it's like, if I could get my timing down just a little bit better, I'd be in, I could get some of the big runs. But what happens is, if I usually wind up getting in and then price goes against me, and then either A, I wait, or B, I trade my way out of the mess I've created. And so, like today, it's pretty funny. I think I've got like 22 trades, and my average win amount is something like 1.2 pips. I mean, it's most people would think that's pathetic, but I've got 22, 23 pips, 24 pips in the bank today. But I mean, that's basically about 24 trades. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of work when, possibly, one good entry here and then riding it could have netted 20 pips, one trade. So it's just one of those things you have to look at. You try to see how you can improve. So for me, what I'm thinking I need to do is, because usually I'm at the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame, I'm going to move over to like maybe the 5 and the 15, or the 15 and the 30, to kind of slow my roll. Because if you look at the charts, or even the 1 hour chart, I mean, what does this tell me right here? This price is going down, then it came down and it bounced. Well, what that tells me is, if I'm looking to go long, let me just let that candle close. Just let it close and see what the next candle presents, because it didn't even test. We've got a flat bottom. It just took off the other way. That's the kind of thing you could do. Or for example, here, say you started this hour. Well, what happened? Price has already gone up 2 hours. It started to go back down, but then here it came up, and there you are at that 70 line, and it almost hit 80. Could have made 5, 6, 7, 8 or more pips if you were just patient. And that's a big thing, is entering when you're supposed to. You don't rush it, and you're not late. I mean, you're basically right on time. You're right where you need to be when you need to be there with the trade. I think that's from the Evan Longoria video. Be where you need to be when you need to be there, something like that. And it's true, because you walk away, or you look at some other website, or you're dinking on your phone, and you look back, oh, shoot, I missed that trade. And that's the trade that, might have been the only trade you needed that day. So the main thing, what not to do, is don't trade without a plan. So what's the positive message? I will trade with a plan each and every trade, each and every trading session. So if you're not doing that now, may I suggest that you start doing it? So if you're watching this video, if you don't have your plan written down, just write it down. Put it on a 3x5 card. It shouldn't be that complex, really. And then just read it before you trade. And try not to focus on other things. Say, I will be focused on my trade during my trading session. That's all I will focus on. That's a positive message. I will stay focused. I will stay focused. And then, as opposed to, oh, I won't do this, I won't do that. No, say what you will do, and your behavior will follow. So, fellow traders, I hope that helps. And, if you're new here, please click subscribe, and everybody click like, so these videos get bumped up in the YouTube algorithm. And when you come back to trade with your plan, just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.